This presentation will give more information on meat selection. Grilling is an acceptable cooking method for most tender beef and pork cuts. Use thinner cuts that are around 1 inch thick. Cuts that are thinner than that can be easily overcooked. Roast and thicker cuts of meat can be overcooked on the outside and remain undercooked on the inside. All poultry is acceptable for grilling. All shrimp and seafood is also acceptable for grilling. To learn more about selecting meat, it is helpful to understand more about how meat is inspected and graded. Inspection for wholesomeness is mandatory for beef, pork, and poultry and is done by the USDA. Grading for quality is voluntary and the service is paid for by beef and poultry processors. Beef is graded in 2 ways. Yield grading estimates the amount of usable, lean meat in the carcass. Quality grading estimates the tenderness, juiciness, and flavor of beef. Yield grades estimate the expected cutability, or the relative amount of lean edible meat, from a carcass. Yield grading is determined by evaluating the external fat thickness over the ribeye area, an estimated percentage of kidney, pelvic, and heart fat, and the hot carcass weight. Yield grades are numbered 1 through 5, with yield grade 1 having the highest yield with more lean, edible beef, and with yield grade 5 having the lowest yield with the least amount of lean, edible meat. Beef is quality graded by measuring indicators of the expected palatability, or the flavor, juiciness, and tenderness. This is determined by color, maturity, and marbling, or the little flecks of fat in the lean. While there are 8 different quality grades of beef, consumers typically only see 3 at the retail level: Select, Choice, and Prime. Select beef is fairly tender, but because it has less marbling, it may lack some of the juiciness and flavor of higher grades. Select beef is found in many grocery stores. Choice beef has moderate levels of marbling, indicating a more desirable eating experience, and are typically found at most grocery stores. Prime is the highest grade in beef and has abundant marbling, indicating the most desirable eating experience. Prime cuts of beef are typically found at fine restaurants and meat shops. Pork is not graded with USDA quality grades. Appearance is an important guide in buying fresh pork. When purchasing pork, look for cuts with a small amount of fat over the outside, meat that is firm, and meat that is grayish pink in color. The USDA grades for poultry are A, B, and C. Grade A is the highest quality grade. Grade A is also the only grade likely to be found in retail stores. Shrimp is not graded with USDA quality grades. Look for shrimp with a pearl-like color and with little to no odor. Now that you have learned more about meat selection, you can confidently choose the right cut of meat to grill.